Hi everybody, I am excited to be doing this video. It's something that's kind of been on my mind for a little while. So we're going to talk about black today. Some viewers wrote in and left some comments saying it would be cool to do a video about black. And I realized that my own style journey has really kind of seen black as part of my wardrobe and my palette evolve. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I wanted to talk a little bit about like the different uses of black, how each shade of black actually can differ a little bit, and also show you some useful combinations that you can use with the color black. So let's get into it. So firstly, let's start with what I'm wearing now. So I'm wearing Model 15 made to measure suit, black polo, easy outfit. Like people think that, oh, black should go with gray because it's sort of tonal. And yes, it's a very obvious choice, and black and gray generally do work quite well. But I actually always prefer to see black with more earthy toned colors. Things with a little bit of brown, even verging into olive. I think black works really, really well with those colors. Conversely, I think that when you start using black with blue, it's not bad, but it's tricky. And there's a lot of things a lot of pitfalls you have to actually avoid when it comes to putting black with blue. Black with earth tones and warmer tones actually works better a lot of times, especially when you're using it as an accent. So my journey into using the color black probably started with a black tie. Like a black necktie is one of those things that is extremely useful. After the navy necktie, I will bring a black necktie because it's a great way to tie outfits together, and it just has this sort of heaviness, this weight, this presence that can make a lot of kind of more patterned, chaotic things come together in a really beautiful way, right? Like I mentioned, okay, earth tones with black, right? So look at this. Brown sport coat. Could of course wear it with black polo like I am today. It's a very similar sort of color combination. But actually brown polo, if you want to do something, brown sport coat, if you want to do something a little dressy, white shirt, black tie, and charcoal trousers, like that looks great together, and the black really helps to kind of pull it all together. Like I can't imagine a tie I would prefer to use in a situation like this. I actually really think the black is very appropriate. Similarly, I mentioned olive, so let's just have a quick look at olive, right? Olive suit from this season. The black works well again. I think it's nice if you're going to use a black tie to use a white shirt, just because it gives a little bit more separation between the colors, like that. What I particularly like about this combination too is that this olive is not so deep. It's a little dusty, and so the black jumps out even more. It's a very eye-catching sort of color in a nice way. All right, next up, we talked about gray and black, which is obviously a very an obvious candidate for to pair with black. I want to show you an outfit that I saw like when I was a teenager, and it has always stuck with me because I thought it was so good looking. There was like this British broadcaster whose name I've unfortunately forgotten, and he passed away, and in his obituary there's a portrait of him wearing a gray suit, a sky blue shirt, and a black tie. And when I see blue and black at first, I was like, no, that's not going to be great. But on him, oh my God, it was just wonderful. And so this is a combination that I think actually is very chic, very stylish, not so common, but really, really works well together. Now, when it comes to using black with blue, I wanted to show you this. So, navy pinstripe from this year's collection. This, again, with like white shirt, tags everywhere, and black tie is not bad. I quite like it. I think the danger with putting black ties with navy suits is that you have to have enough contrast, enough separation between the two colors that it doesn't look like you've accidentally mixed two things together that you thought were the same color, So this works because the blue and black are different enough. There's also the pinstripe to separate out a little bit. I want to show you a few other examples of interesting black garments. So, blue jeans is a must, but black jeans are pretty great too. And this is our new manual black jeans, which I think unfortunately we're sold out of. This is my own pair from home, and I've washed it a bunch. Like, what I like about black jeans is they're really not black jeans. They're actually charcoal jeans. Like, once you wash it a few times, it's gonna age and it's gonna look like that. What do I tend to wear with this? Sometimes if I'm on the road and I just don't want to have to worry too much about my garments, I would just bring that in a blue blazer, as so. You know, and it's a little bit like kind of thrown together, you know, and you're not necessarily getting a ton of separation between the colors, but at least because it's denim and a sport coat, it still feels somewhat coherent. In a case like this, I would try to keep all my colors relatively dark. So I would wear it probably with like a dark denim shirt rather than anything else. I also want to show you some things that are like not fully black, but quite predominantly black. Like if you have patterns like this, right? A pattern that's kind of cream, off-white, and black. Like this is a combination of colors you see very often with Prince of Wales checks done as a sport coat. These sorts of combinations always work great with black. Like it's nice to have something black, charcoal to put with items like this. And in a case like this, typically I would wear a white shirt, but if you want to like really go off-piste, because your jacket and your trousers are so monochromatic, as in they're all sort of shades of either very bright white or very dark black, you could throw in some unexpected color. Like you could throw in like a plum, a golden brown, something like that, and it would be like, wow, quite an interesting outfit. Last thing I want to show you, this was a safari jacket that we had made a while ago for the Carlisle & Co. Club, which is like a members club in Hong Kong that we're involved with. So this is a black linen safari. And you know, you don't have to think of black as a very formal color. Actually, it works really well also in configurations like this, where it's like kind of wrinkled, rumpled, and give me 1 second, I'll get the trousers, I forgot to get them. And then with something like this, actually, it pairs surprisingly well with things like polo shirts. It pairs surprisingly well with things like sport chinos. God, I'm so used to saying like polo shirts and sport chinos as a sentence. But pick the kind of slightly more saturated, slightly darker colors. You know, one thing I'm not really a huge fan of is black and white together as a top and bottom combo. Like I feel like black top and white trousers sometimes makes you look a bit like a mime, with the exception of maybe like white tie tuxedo situation. But otherwise, like black top, white bottom is like a little bit like a mime. So there you go. Like again, black with earth tone, right? Another theme that we mentioned before that we're coming back to. Now, with regards to shoes, because I just want to touch quickly on shoes, there are a few different types of black shoes I think are really worth thinking about. Everyone always has like the black Oxford first. Like that's no-brainer, it's great, it looks great with suits, like it's a must for every wardrobe, blah, blah, blah. But I think once you get past that and you want to move further afield, I'm very fond of black loafers. I mean, I'm wearing a pair of black loafers right now. But I think that once you go into loafers, you can actually not just have like a plain calf loafer, you can have a grained loafer like this, or even like the ones I'm wearing, you know. I think a little bit of grain in the black just makes it a lot more interesting. And I think the other interesting way to use black is in suede. It's not super common. We do stock it because we like it as a thing. Black suede is a very stylish thing to incorporate in your wardrobe. And this is the sort of thing that would look great with suits, with trousers, maybe not so much casual. I consider this more like interesting for slightly dressier outfits. It's a little bit of a dandy touch. Last thing I want to cover, black watches. So not like black watch cases, but like black watches, if you want to have some black in your watch collections palette, right? The obvious ones are always like sport watches with black dials, right? Like the Rolex Explorer, like the Ming Minimalist, which I think is a great example of like a really dark black dial with a very black theme to it. And the other really common configuration, which always looks good, is always kind of a crowd pleaser, is gold and black, like that. I would definitely start with steel and black over gold and black. Gold and black, actually, I will forewarn you, is a color combination that seems amazing and beautiful, and it is, but it's quite difficult to wear. Like, I'm surprised how seldomly I get the chance to pull out a gold and black piece, you know? And if anything, I would prefer to wear just gold, like this, with black, rather than gold and a black face and black. Sometimes it can be too much. All right, I hope this was helpful as a little overview of like the world of black clothing, black garments, black accessories. I might have missed something, so if you guys think of anything, please feel free to shout it out in the comments. And I would love to hear what other ideas you might have for black outfits. So I'll leave you with a Yohji Yamamoto quote just to close out this little episode about black. And he said, very wisely as he is, you know, black is modest yet arrogant. Black is lazy yet mysterious. And above all, black says, I don't bother you, you don't bother me, which I kind of love. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. That's it for now, and thanks for watching.